What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Flash again. I have some interesting, this is the interesting spill of mine, okay? Because I know a lot of people are complaining nowadays, especially black liberals, white liberals, they're complaining nowadays. But I want to tell you guys something. I want to see if I can make light of this whole situation to maybe make people see the reason for the complaining and the griping and all that good stuff. There's a reason why black liberals are asking for Donald Trump to denounce white supremacy. White supremacy, to me, in my humble opinion, does not exist. And the simple mere phrase white supremacy actually means a belief that white is a superior race over different races, especially black. Okay, there's your definition right there. Now, check this out. It doesn't say white supremacy means white people believe that. It just says it's a belief. That means since black people who are liberal talk about white supremacy so much, that means that they believe white people are superior and that they are the ones that need to bow down to white people. And what they want to hear are words, because black liberals, all they've listened to their whole life from their politicians was words, never action. They're not going to go by what Donald Trump has done. They're going to go by what Donald Trump says. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, remember, their politicians have never done anything ever. They've always talked a good game. So they want to hear Donald Trump talk because that's what gets them hard and they can ejaculate, right? That's how they feel like they're going to get off, is by hearing somebody else's words, not action. Because every action that Donald Trump has done has been action. He really doesn't have to say anything. He's been denounced so-called white supremacy that really doesn't exist, but he's been denounced anybody that has that thought. He has been denounced that long time ago, 2-3 years ago. And he's done it even in the last month or two, where he's trying to push the bill for the platinum plan for the black community and making the KKK a terrorist organization along with Antifa. Now, the black liberals who are watching the debate want to hear those words so bad because that would make their day. And even if he did say, I denounce white supremacy, they're not going to be satisfied. You can't satisfy a black liberal. You can invite them over to the cookout. They expect you to do all the cooking and pay for everything, right? Then when you do say, hey, you know what? I am paying for the food. I am cooking everything. Well, they're like, well, can you dish my plate? Okay, man, I'll dish your plate. I'll pay for everything. I'll dish your plate. I'll cook everything. Well, okay, wait. Since you're dishing my plate and you're cooking everything and you paid for everything, well, can you cut the meat up when it gets to my plate? Dog, you're pushing it. All right, look, I'm going to cook it. I'm going to buy all this stuff to cook. I'm going to dish your plate and I'm going to cut your meat up. The black person said, well, black liberal says, well, you're cutting the meat up. You're paying for everything. You cooked. You also invited me over to dinner. Well, can you chew it up for me? It's kind of hard on my teeth, you know. Look, I'll chew it up for you. I'll cut it up. I've paid for it. I've invited you over to eat. I've cooked everything. Is that cool? Well, how about you feed me? Why don't you feed me? Give me the spoon and don't you take the spoon and you feed me. You'll never get a satisfied black liberal. That's just what it is. They're going to cry. They're going to complain. They're going to bitch and gripe. That's what and who they are. They are so down on themselves for whatever reason. They believe white people are so much better than them, that white people have so much power and control over them that they can't function and live their own lives without some kind of a complaint or gripe. That's what it is. They want to hear Donald Trump's words, even though they've condemned him on words he hasn't even said before. And they still want to hear his words and still won't be satisfied. Not only has he done the funding for black colleges for 10 years, something no other president has ever done, they still find a way to complain. They sweep that under the rug. They say he did that for votes. Well, if he were to denounce white supremacy, wouldn't you just say, oh, he's lying, he's doing that for votes? Well, newsflash. Let's just say the white supremacists are the main voter block of his base. Don't you think he wouldn't sacrifice that to please you by funding black colleges? If his voter base was so racist and so into white supremacy, quote unquote, do you think they would approve of you having a black college funding? I think they would jump off the Trump train in a matter of seconds, in a matter of milliseconds. They do not want to see you succeed at all if they're so-called white supremacists, right? They don't want to see funding for black colleges. They don't want to see you ever get out of prison, because he did do the crime bill, the criminal justice reform. So think about that. For black people to go run to Joe Biden, who did the crime bill, now that's action. The crime bill is an act. He did an act. He didn't say words. He did an act to lock black people up. Donald Trump did an act to do away with the 94 crime bill. He did criminal justice reform. That is action. Joe Biden calls Donald Trump a racist and you believe it. When one locks you up and one sets you free, but you believe one. You forgive Joe Biden. You forgive Kamala Harris for locking up black people, but you don't want to let Donald Trump off the hook because he didn't denounce on a debate stage about white supremacy. You make 0 sense. But that's how dumb you are. You're dumb. Let's just be real. You're dumb. That's fine. But if you're going to be dumb, keep it to yourself, because that is stupidity, right? At its finest. You got to be that stupid to say it's okay for Joe Biden to do the crime bill and be a segregationist, saying he didn't want black people in his schools because it would turn it into a jungle. He says some racist stuff, real racist stuff. Donald Trump has never said nothing racist. And you guys are pinning racism on him, but you're letting Joe Biden off the hook, and you're going to give your vote to Joe Biden just because he's Joe Biden, just because he's Obama's guy. Obama didn't do nothing. So and let me get on you black so-called independents who are really just liberal, just leftists. You guys never voted Republican. You guys are not real independents. I know one real independent. His name is Arnett Laveau. Look him up. That's a real independent, okay? The rest of you guys are leftists. You guys just don't want to be called a Democrat, but you voted Democrat your whole life. Stop the cap, okay? Stop saying that you're an independent. You have voted one way your whole life. You are a Democrat, sir. You just chose not to be called one. That's fine, okay? And a lot of you are now independents because Obama's not in office no more. Let's be real. Obama's not there. Donald Trump won. You're an independent now. I get it. Okay. You're a bandwagon runner. We get it. Front runner. Every last one of you independent so-calleds have voted Obama in twice. You are a Democrat. If you voted Obama, if you did not vote for McCain, if you did not vote for for Mitt Romney, if you did not vote for Donald Trump, if you did not vote for George Bush won before. But if you didn't vote for George Bush, you are definitely a Democrat. Okay, if you voted Democrat 4 straight times, 3 straight times, 2 straight times, you are a Democrat. Stop capping on Facebook. You're not getting anywhere with all the cap. People see right through you. You're a Democrat, and that's fine. Just own it. Own your stupidity for voting for Joe Biden, even though you know his history. If you know his history and you're still voting for Joe Biden and you've done your research, you are stupid. And that's fine. Everybody's God-given right in America is to be smart or stupid. You chose stupid, and that is your right to do. We are okay with that. Okay? Denouncing white supremacy is nothing but words. If he would have denounced them, you'd still be bitching. You still be crying because that's all you know. There's a reason why we call it the Democratic plantation. Okay? Think about slavery. Okay? Slavery. White liberal, white Democrat, slave owners. Black people on the slave plantation. There were ones that ran away. They were conservative. They said, hell no, I am not going to be a slave. I will run away. If I get caught and die, oh well. But I'm going to run. Those are Republican black men. Those are conservative black men and women. Your Harriet Tubmans, you know. The ones that stayed there on the plantation are Democrats. The ones that said that were mad because the black people that did leave, Republicans, left the plantation, the white masters sent you Democrat black people after the Republicans to help capture them. That's what you guys are. Y'all guys are number one, race traitors, number one. But number two, you guys are for sure the snitches, the rats, and you guys do not want what's best for the black community. If you are a black Democratic voter, don't lie and say you're independent because you're a Democrat. Stop the cap. You are a slave. You are mentally enslaved, and you're trying to demean and shit on the next Republican that's black's name because he left the plantation or he never came. There's a reason why you guys are so jealous of black Republicans, because we're not on your plantation with you suffering. That's your bad. Your white master made you believe that there's white supremacy, and you believe it because he told you that. That's why there's white liberals out there telling you that they are benefiting off of white privilege and you ain't shit. Get it? It makes sense, don't it? You are being told and wired by white liberals that you aren't good enough because you're black. White conservatives aren't telling you that. It's white liberals telling you that. And you are a black liberal that believes it. So therefore, you're right, actually. You are being controlled by white supremacy voluntarily because you are accepting it. You believe it, therefore it is true. Remember, the definition is not white people that believe that it's white supremacy. That's not the definition. The definition is there's a belief of white supremacy. You believe it, then it is true for you, not for everybody else. There are black people in America who actually believe that they were created equal. I have 2 arms, I have 2 legs, just like my white counterpart, right? I wouldn't even call them counterpart. They're Americans just like me. So they're not counterparts, but you get what I'm saying. White people that are American that have 2 arms and 2 legs, they're no different than me. Zero. They have no superiority over me. They don't have no advantages over me. We are all created equally. That is that is written up by our forefathers of the United States. They even said that. I don't want to hear about nothing else, okay? And let's get to one last thing about these party switching. You sound dumb. Some of you black liberals who want to make an excuse for why you still rather be on the plantation as a slave, saying that the party switched when they really didn't. If the party switched, fool, then Republicans would be liberal and Democrats would be conservative. Is that the case right now? No. Shut up, because you make no sense. When black people come to me and tell me that the party switched, I just want to just slap the shit out of them, because you guys make no sense. How can they switch when the ideologies are still the same to this day? Nobody switched, fool. You stayed, and that's where you chose to be. Ain't nobody switched. Okay? The Republican Party freed them. They freed the slaves. Yeah, they freed the slaves. Something that you Democrat black people still complain about. Well, how about this? If you're going to complain about it, why don't you go to your Democratic leadership? They're the ones that enslave black people. Go whine and bitch and complain to them. Because white Republican conservative people, they fought to free you. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear your excuses and your scapegoating anymore. They don't want to go for it no more. They're the ones that fought to free you. Black conservative Republican males, they fought to free themselves. They don't want to hear it. Why? Because they are free and they fought for it. Fool. So stop the cap. This is another public service announcement from your boy Jay Flash, and I'm out of here.